Welcome back, my gardening friends, to my Allotment gardening channel. And first of all, I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers to my channel. 500 in the last 28 days. So I think 220 of you have come from how I sow my carrots and parsnips. This is my square foot gardening. This is what I'm calling the vertical gardening. It's a little idea that I've got from Southport Davey Urban Farm. He does something similar using the water buckets, and he calls his the Spud-O-Matic. But it's great for a very small space, and it's incorporated into the square foot gardening and the raised beds. And a little thought, and I put all these wooden posts in when we built these. So my idea is to plant these up and sow them in the greenhouse grow room during the summer and over the winter. Maybe having some winter crops as well. A little bit more thought needs to go into it. I'm learning as I go along, so always leave a comment of your ideas. And it's quite simple, it's just held up with these straps. So these straps are single use, so they only get used once and then thrown away. When we cut them, they're a little bit rough, so we've just put a bit of heat on them from the kettle, the heater for the kettle. Sorts that out. And when I talk about pre-drilling, why do we do it? One, to stop the wood from splitting when we put the screw through, and so when we put the screw through, it draws the wood to the permanent structure, so we get a good tight fit. And that's what we always talk about, pre-drilling. Always pre-drill the piece of wood that you're going to be putting onto something else. And it's literally wrapped around there and fastened on with a screw and a washer. And because I've pre-watered them, they're probably quite heavy, but it's really quite as easy as that. Under here we've got a couple of screws there, hopefully you can see those, that just stop the bucket from dropping in any further. But it does seem to work quite well, but these buckets are quite heavy. And we've drilled holes in, so we've got a sump. I've done these wrong, I should have put these holes opposite to there, because when I've put water in there to get the water down to the bottom, it does sort of overflow because this piping has got holes in. But I'm learning all the while. These are single-use buckets, so I'm reusing them as many times as I can. I've chosen black because they should last longer because of the heat. Hopefully they won't deteriorate. They seem to be the best buckets I've got at the moment. So I've pre-done bits and bobs, so I'll give you a bit of pause and record while I'm getting on with doing this side. At the top there you can see the netting. Now I use this in the polytunnel. Trouble is, what happens in the polytunnel, our plants grow up and you always get a cucumber that drops through the other side and you just cannot get at it. So at least now I'll be able to harvest from either side. This is east facing, so it'll get a bit of sunshine like it is now, blinding me first thing in the morning. But then as the sunshine disappears over there, the lettuce and that will have a little bit of respite from all this shading during the highest part of the day and the heat. We'll see how things go. Maybe I need to put the lettuces this side and that side, but it's all a big learning curve. So let's crack on and get this sorted. And I am going to put another row of buckets at the top. That'll be for the trailing tomatoes or the bush beans, the French beans. My allotment slopes uphill from right to left, so I've measured equal distances from the top of the raised beds, and they will be staggered but hopefully level. Unfortunately, I made a little bit of a boo-boo on cutting some of these. I picked these timbers up from, let's get this right way around, pick these timbers up off a truck find, and so I've obviously set everything out, and nearly cut all these strips, not realising that the other timbers are bigger, so we'll need more of this around that piece. So I think I will need to have a little rethink. I will check it first. So that's all I do with those. They're all at set distances, and I'll just have to remember which way round they go, and I shall have to take one of those off just to double check, but you've got the idea. The pipes are on this side. These are the wider side of the beds, or should we say this is where we walk through, because this gap here isn't very wide, so the pipes go on this side, and these are the rockets I planted on the 6th of April, and they're just coming through. These will have to go in, but they'll enjoy a bit of sunshine today, and you may be able to see my homemade compost. We've got lots and lots of tomatoes growing. I throw all my weeds onto the floor because I compost in the paths, because in 3 years time these wood chips will be used within my homemade compost. So that's that done, and you might want to ask what this material is. It's plastic, and it was free, so I don't know, and I don't really care. It's a great structure for growing up things, as you can see. Where's my finger? There we go. There's all the old vines climbing up round that. So what would this actually cost to build? So the actual vertical gardening structure, which I had the inspiration, as we've said, from Southport Davey Urban Farm. His channel name will be in the description. So all it's cost me is some nails, and I would imagine on this build here I've used about £1.50. So that's all cost me £1.50. Everything else is recycled, reused, repurposed, whatever I can find. And I've probably been saving up for the last couple of years to do this. The only thing I have majorly purchased is the scaffolding planks for all the no dig raised beds, This temporary bed that's my permanent bed for my potatoes at the moment was completely free. This holds all the surplus soil, because all the soil was good here. Now I haven't bought any soil in. All the soil and good materials here already. Have a look at my first ever video. You'll see what it looked like then. And all the pallet collars I've got for free. My own compost bins that we built. Again, all it costs is the screws. I did buy a roll of the visqueen plastic, which is £45, but the majority of these beds were completed by some visqueen that I found in a skip. I need to order some more 3-inch screws, but at the moment, with the issues with the virus and deliveries, looks like my projects will come to an end shortly. If you like the content of this video, please consider subscribing. Hit the like or dislike button. It's all interaction, and interaction in the comments with your ideas, what you've done and what you've been up to. I greatly appreciate it. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.